So that's what he said. Can you make your mind up on Chicago though? Well, we're going in. I didn't say when we're going in. When you lose, look, I have a duty. This isn't a political thing, I have a duty. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are. Donald Trump's presidency has been nothing but a masterclass in cover-ups, plummeting approval ratings, buried, his failing health, hidden, the Jeffrey Epstein scandal that refuses to die, smothered at every turn. And today, we got yet another reminder of this endless deception, when a post vanished into thin air after Trump's embarrassing press conference. The one where he strained to project strength, only to reveal just how weak and rattled he really is. Why that post disappeared, what it exposes about Trump's shaky grip on power, and how it ties into the non-stop cycle of lies and damage control that defines his administration. But before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join the growing community that refuses to let these cover-ups go unchecked. Now let's rewind to that so-called press conference. What was it actually about? Trump took aim at Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. And let me tell you, Pritzker didn't just take it on the chin. He fired back hard. And we've got the receipts. I know how Donald Trump thinks because I've been governor during both of his terms. He has surrounded himself with groveling, yes, men who are too weak to restrain his most brutal and unhinged impulses, or who share those impulses. As a governor who cares about the well-being of my people, I can't live in a fantasy land where I pretend Trump is not tearing this country apart for personal greed and power. I have to deal in facts, and here they are. Crime is down in Chicago. Murders are down by almost 50% in the last 4 years. Shootings are down 57%. Robberies down 34%. Burglaries down 21%. Motor vehicle thefts down 26%. One violent crime is too many, and we have more work to do. But we have made important progress on safety that Trump is now endangering. Just during the last week, I've been in neighborhoods across Chicago, from Bronzeville to South Shore, to Chatham to Little Village. The president's ridiculous characterizations do not match what is happening on the ground here. He has no idea what he's talking about. But there is no emergency that warrants deployment of troops. Everything Donald Trump does right now is political theater. It's not governing, it's a performance. Every move is a stunt meant to project strength while accomplishing nothing. Look at his fixation on deploying the National Guard. Even if you buy into his fear-mongering about crime, that's no solution. It's a temporary show of force that pushes us closer to a full-blown police state. One powered by Trump and Palantir's surveillance machine, tracking every word, every move, every dissent. And if you dare to speak against him, don't be shocked when the enforcers show up at your door. This is the dystopia conservatives always warned Democrats would bring. A 1984 nightmare. Yet it's Trump and his allies who are actively constructing it. What this country needs isn't more militarized stunts for cable news clips. We need serious structural reforms to dismantle the systems that feed mass incarceration and drive homelessness. Trump has zero interest in that, he never has, and that's why leaders like Governor Pritzker speaking out are vital. Because exposing Trump's deception isn't optional, it's necessary. I'm aware that the President of the United States likes to go on television and beg me to call and ask him for troops. No hedging, no qualifiers, no well maybe, or on the other hand, be direct. Trump doesn't care. He never has and he never will. His fixation isn't with solutions, it's with spectacle. That's all this press conference was, hollow theater. And it crumbled under its own weight, just like the one looming tomorrow in the Epstein scandal. The story Trump has tried desperately to suffocate comes roaring back into the spotlight, a reminder of the truth he cannot outrun. Donald Trump has tried many ways to tamp down this Epstein debacle, a scandal that haunts him, that has taken traction on the right. He has pleaded with people to let it go. To let it go, he's called it boring. We have reporting that he and aides have pressured MAGA voices, basically cajoling and threatening them to say, please let this one go. Some podcasters all that admitted that. And then of course, they fired the lead prosecutor over the case. They gave Maxwell a better prison to be in and conducted a very unusual interview. All of that, of course, designed to quiet things. So here we are on Labor Day going into the return from summer. a time where the Trump allies said this will be done by then. And that's not working. Congress is coming back this week. Key members, including Congressman Ro Khanna, a Democrat, are trying to elevate the issue but also do something that they say that Trump DOJ has failed to do, which is listen to the Epstein survivors. What will be explosive is the September 3rd press conference that both of us are having with 10 Epstein victims, many who have never spoken out before. They're going to be on the steps of the Capitol. They will be telling their story, and they will be saying clearly to the American public that they want the release of the Epstein files for full closure on this matter. I was speaking, Khanna speaking son. He has a Republican who's along for this effort, and they will basically try to platform what you heard there. A presentation by the survivors about Epstein's abuse, whether it goes directly at the Trump DOJ's treatment, we don't know, but some of these survivors have already, through lawyers and spokespeople, said that they are very concerned about the leniency for Maxwell, and how the whole administration has been approaching it just recently. If you go back far enough, you heard the congressmen say many of them have never spoken, and they haven't spoken altogether in this format. But some of course have spoken out. Dateline interviewed many Epstein accusers in 2019. What did it mean to stand up in court, to meet each other, to hear other stories? It was such a powerful moment to stand in court, knowing how we all had this common experience and we didn't know each other, but we did. Do you feel let down by the justice system? I don't know if you girls feel the same, but I feel let down. They failed us before, don't fail us again. Exactly. That's all we're asking. Take us serious. I think that there should be still some accountability for a lot of the people that were enabling Epstein. You don't have to take my voice and believe everything I say, but follow the facts. Look at the flight logs, there are logs, there is evidence. And then there's the material that the Trump DOJ has not released. Then there's the fact that they've been helping Epstein's only convicted co-conspirator, Julian Maxwell, and surfacing or providing what is not considered credible testimony, someone who's convicted and just appealing their conviction, which means they continue to have to maintain that they're innocent in some way. A lot of questions about why the Trump DOJ is helping Maxwell. This story demands relentless attention day after day, hour after hour, and I promise you we'll be on it tomorrow. We'll be speaking with Congressman Ro Khanna, who, alongside Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, is leading a press conference to drag the Jeffrey Epstein scandal back into the light where it belongs. Because now is the moment. And silence is no longer an option. Donald Trump has already sent Congress home early. He's rushing to distract, to change the narrative, to bury this story once and for all. But it's far too explosive to bury. His move to shut down the Epstein investigation was never about justice. It was about self-preservation. It was about self-preservation. It was about shielding himself and protecting the wealthy predators who enabled Epstein. Trump will always side with the rich, the powerful, and the well-connected, never with the victim. And that is the point Democrats must drive home with absolute clarity. No hesitation, no half measures, no half measures, no but or maybe, just the unvarnished truth. This was a grotesque cover-up, and we'll continue exposing it, right? So if you want to stand with us in this fight, hit that subscribe button, smash the like. And if you've made it this far, drop a blue heart in the comments, so I know you're with us. Thanks for watching. And until next time, I'll see you.